Okay, let's call this meeting to order. Discuss and consider potential purchase of opioid funds. And Sandy, you wanna,
Hey, before we get started, can I
Yeah.
know what we've already obligated and spent or obligated or spent on
that's
this?
a Shannon question, but what did we decide up to 30,000 for Talcop, or was it 20?
Well, they got the invoices on here.
Oh, that's a $1,200 invoice.
Okay.
So
I just want to see what we've already spent the money on.
maybe go ask Shannon that one. And then I don't think there was any cost, Connie was gonna do that program in August, those webinars, didn't they sign up for those?
And have we voted on that?
Yeah, we voted on
Okay.
all these.
I just want to
I
know the
don't know
cost.
if anybody has done that or not.
I think it was up to 20,000 in Talcop.
That sounds reasonable, but I don't know.
We tell cops are expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, we can probably get 4 short ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And didn't you spend some money on the webinar deal?
Wasn't he spent? I think that's what this 1,200 is.
Okay.
It would just be nice to know
Mhm.
exactly what we're spending.
Did you text her?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Abby. So I think that's
Did you cover it?
I did.
Got it.
one of the things we talked about at the meeting last week was really taking a change of approach and doing more of an RFP going forward. This is Chauncey's. And I agree, I think that would be a really good idea, because now I see that people, oh, there's money and let's do this.
Right.
I think we need to take a step back and really look at that. But
That's honestly don't misunderstand, I'm not saying that there isn't a need, and I'm not saying that there isn't an epidemic or, I'm not sure that's the right medical term, but there's definitely a need out there, there's definitely a problem out there, but I also don't want us to get into spending money just for the sake of spending the money.
right.
Yeah, that if it's not gonna be beneficial, I don't wanna be too technical or whatever you wanna call it, but there is a cost benefit analysis that needs to be associated with it.
I agree. So going forward, we could talk more about that at our October meeting, and Chauncey was gonna come up with info sheet for this meeting on October 24th with the Mental Health Coalition for the My Ascension, that suicide thing. But the purpose of this meeting is to decide if we want to spend, the request is $10,000, 1,000 t-shirts. Now, why do we need 1,000 t-shirts? Educate us all on that.
468 for Fairfield schools. These are the schools participating in the Emma Benoit presentation that'll be here on October 24th. It'll be held at the Fairfield School in the auditorium.
Is that high school or what?
High school. So 468 high schoolers, that'd be 9 through 12. Cardinal is being permitted to Zoom in. That's 275 t-shirts. Pekin is being allowed to Zoom in. That's 174 t-shirts. And Maharishi is bringing their high school kids over to Fairfield, and they're still getting back to me with numbers. But if Pekin was 174, Maharishi's probably in or less than that ballpark. But if they were in that ballpark, then 173 comes to 1,000 t-shirts. And if there's any left over, then so be it. I'm hoping there's one to give to Emma. But, I'm just saying 1,000 covers the schools that cover Jefferson County kids. And
Right.
that's what I keep to tell you.
And also-
So I just keep saying 1,000 t-shirts. And it could end up by the time because Ace, whatever they're called, graphics, they really like to help with things like this. And so the last time we ordered t-shirts, they donated the graphics and they donated stuff, and we ended up, instead of 500 t-shirts, we got 520. So depending on what they offer to help us out. but it's roughly $10,000 for 1,000 t-shirts. Then all the kids get one. And that the connection is that many people with mental health issues, especially teenagers, also have a drug or alcohol issue because they're trying to self-medicate and what have you. The front of the t-shirt was going to say, and I tried to draw it, I'm not a drawer. And then my ink pen ran out, so I borrowed one from Lee, but it's gonna say something like mental health matters, for emergencies call, and then in big 988. So that the message is out, everybody gets to, have a t-shirt and they'll remember this is where I call.
Now, on one hand, it's been voiced to me, that's a feel-good thing. And do we want to spend $10,000 because we could hire part of a person to actually do some of that opioid stuff for that contract with somebody? So I don't know.
Well, and I don't know how much we have left in,
Oh, we've got a good probably ballpark, 200,000.
$225,000 left.
okay.
That's,
No, well, yeah, we would have spent,
yeah,
we'd have ballpark, just over 200.
Okay, and are we getting any more in? I'm just curious.
Yeah, but it trickles in over a period
No,
of
no,
time.
no, that's fine. I just
Yeah.
was, because I mentioned the other day when we talked about this. And I can't remember what it's called. I'd have to look it back up again, which I will. But like I said, I saw on television that there is a drug. I don't know if it's-
Right.
Okay, that, and there's a program, a step program, I guess, basically, that you take this, I think it's over a period of a year. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, it's helps those that are addicted to opioids. It fights it, eliminates it, that sort of thing. And I don't know whether the hospital would be involved in that, I don't know. But I saw it advertised on TV and it immediately,
Right, and
well, that's probably a good thing to have.
we can
The
work with
opioid
that in the
committee,
future.
and I'm just one of the people on the committee, said this would look good, this is something that is tangible. And it's a good prevention measure if I'm walking down the high school halls and I see little Johnny Smith.
Right, but are people,
Then you'd know, 988.
are
and
people gonna wear them?
How do we know, Dee?
Oh, I know.
Of course, we want to believe that they're going to wear them.
Yeah, so I'd like to say something. This is the one opportunity we have to help every damn kid in our county.
That's right.
Because if we
Every
save
high
one
school,
kid out of those 1,000,
we've
Mhm.
saved a
we,
lot.
it's worth the
That's
$10,000.
why I'm
Yeah,
here this
but
morning.
Sandy,
Yep.
I'd like to go further. I would like each school to have those t-shirts on and take a big picture. So we can put it on Facebook or something.
Yeah,
We
That
can
would
only
be
ask.
helpful.
It'd be
Oh, I
nice
know,
as they
I know.
enter the high
Yeah.
school here, if all the Fairfield and Maharishi people put it on,
Sure.
and Cardinal and Pekin,
Yeah.
that would be
I
great.
just think that would give
that's a good idea.
this, a better venue to, pictures worth 1,000 words, and we can
Yeah.
sit here and talk all day long. But
But
wouldn't it be
pictures
cool
were-
to see all those kids at Fairfield High School were putting those t-shirts on and standing outside and getting a picture taken?
With Emma having her t-shirt on, because we'll give her one
Yeah,
right
but-
in the middle of them.
Yeah, because, and I just think it's,
It's a good, it's,
if we can, if you do that, if that is part of the process for this $1,000 t-shirts, rather, I'm all for it.
and it's,
Because it'll show the community and everybody that we're serious about this.
Yeah,
and if it does save one child. we've
One
done-
child.
That was a well-spent $10,000.
yeah, I don't disagree with that. So this thing is called, I can't even pronounce it.
What's it look like?
what you might want to do is talk to Stacy before our next
Good
meeting
idea.
in October, so we have
It's
something
called-
on it.
Suboxone or
Oh,
Suboxone.
Suboxone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
Okay.
talked about that at the emergency management meeting, I think. We've talked about that somewhere
Sure.
over at the hospital. I can't remember who was there. And they talked about who do you give it to? Do the cops have it? And do the, I mean, there was a lot of,
Right, and what it says
questions
is
that
it
walked
helps,
around.
it helps alleviate withdrawal symptoms, reduce
Right.
cravings and manage pain, proving highly effective in treating addiction and dependency on various substances. Studies also show that this treatment method is effective for patients addicted to kratom, Kratom, and, oh yeah, TIAN,
right,
tianeptine. And it's, I don't know what it costs. I have no idea. I don't know if it's a program the hospital would participate in, and if we could help purchase the, people have to come, just like you said, if it helps one.
maybe connect either with Stacy or somebody out there before the October meeting and bring more
Yeah, I mean, I,
information. Because then we'll have something tangible.
yeah, I mean, it's
So-
obviously it's above my pay grade. I'm not in
Yeah.
the medical profession.
You know,
And I'm sure there's things out there that people are blowing smoke as far as, oh yeah, this works or that works or whatever.
Okay, so,
see, that would be almost more like an anabuse, where people take anabuse to curb their drinking.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
mhm,
I'm very sensitive to all this. So my dad was treated for alcoholism 9 times.
Yeah.
I've seen him almost die 9 times or whatever. He's
Yeah, my
dead
dad
now.
he never believed he was, but he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
go to bars and stuff, but he was an alcoholic.
Yeah. So,
my first husband was an alcoholic
Mhm.
and he committed suicide. So I mean, there's
Yeah.
things out there that people don't know,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
And-
That.
and
People don't know.
people don't know.
Oh, boy, they don't.
What
know.
they don't know. And, the average middle class family with 2.5 kids in their backyard,
I think
they're,
the problem I have with, not with the t-shirts and not with the number or any of that, but when somebody calls, whether it's a teenager, whether it's an adult, and they have a problem, they're concentrating suicide. There's my experience or understanding, there's a very small window to get to them in terms of the time between they finally have reached a point where they're
Mhm.
really
there's practically no
contemplating it.
window.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
They've already
actually going-
plotted it before.
It's a done deal.
But if somebody calls you, are you allowed to call anybody for help? Because it's a HIPAA violation or whatever?
Oh, absolutely. You can call whoever you want because now you're in a crisis.
Okay.
And I'll be damned if a judge says you violated HIPAA. If somebody calls me and I know there's an issue and I need to call you because you're next door to the person,
Right.
I'm gonna call you and tell you, go over there, stop this suicide. There's nobody that's gonna prosecute you for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not worried about getting prosecuted. I was just worried
It's a
about.
good question.
Because
But
of
that's
that
what-
small window.
that's what the number's for, to help connect people to local services.
Right. But they've got to want to connect.
Correct.
And I can pick up the phone and I can call Sandy because I know Sandy and I said, Sandy, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And she's gonna try and talk me out. She's gonna, in the meantime, trying to get somebody that, between the time that she's trying to talk me out of something, I mean, the person's probably holding the gun while they're talking to you on the
Right.
phone.
Yeah. Or if you're in
If they're
Israel, a cell
going,
phone
if they're
Yeah.
or a
thinking of
pager.
if they're thinking about it and they have a plan. And in a flash of a second, they call and say, help me.
Mhm.
That's your flash of a second. You better do something
It's like the
now.
young man that left the high school and went home
Right.
and shot himself at lunchtime.
Okay, do we want to vote on this?
I move that we purchase the $1,000 or excuse me, the
10,000.
1,000.
Use $10,000 to purchase t-shirts because I'm hoping to get
Yes.
a little more than 1,000.
Yeah.
But maybe they won't.
But I would also like to go further and use this as an opportunity to let the public see what we're doing.
So do you want to specify in the motion what you would like?
$10,000 to buy 1,000 t-shirts.
And then I'll try to get them to put the t-shirts on. We can't
Pictures.
make them,
Okay,
but I will do my
So
effort.
how do you, it's not, this is a small thing, but I'm just curious about extra large, 2X.
Well, we just,
small.
you know, Leah asked that question, and I said, well, it's what it is. We're gonna have extra small up to 2X, and you know, if there's one 3X kid out there. You know, or if there's 50 extra small kids and we only have 20 extra small t-shirts,
Mhm.
you know, get the next size larger. I mean, it's like you do your
Yeah.
best.
You can
Sandy,
do
do you
it.
think you could, okay, I'm just throwing it out. Ask the counselor at the high school. How much do you think, what sizes do you think? Do you have more extra large than you do smalls?
I can ask, but
I
I'd
mean,
be
you
asking
know.
all the high schools. We're just gonna get
I get it. I
an
get it.
assortment of.
I understand. I understand.
Also,
I'm hoping it works out.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed, me personally, if there's a handful of kids that got left out, I probably will personally buy more t-shirts and make sure that they get them. You know, that's just
well, it
something
sounds like
I
you have
do.
people to cover it.
I think we hopefully will
this.
have enough to cover it. Like even if it covers 1,020, that extra 20 might be a wait and get after we find out there's a child with a 3X need.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you know,
Just,
Okay, I'll second the motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Motion to adjourn?
and my job was just the t-shirts
Mhm.
for this presentation, the t-shirts and finding mental health professionals to be on hand. So
yeah.
I'm doing my job, but I don't know, you know, much other than if you come to the Jefferson County Mental Health Coalition, they're having another meeting by Zoom on Friday at noon, if anybody's interested.
Okay, do we have a second?
No, sure. Second.
All in favor?
I.
Thanks.